everybody, this is Ginger, and Ginger's Chat Show is no longer a rant show. I'm reason why I didn't, of course you already know, some of you may know, some of you may not know. Reason why I changed my branding on that was try to bring in more viewers, because I talk about everything. It does not necessarily focusing on politics itself, but everything else that's going on. Because you never know, there's small news tidbits that never really gets out on the viral part, okay, of the news factions here. Anyway, welcome, and up here it's 49 degrees, it was 50, it's dropping down. Right now we're in the middle of a windstorm. The winds right now are at 15 miles an hour, which is pretty good gusts, and they say the gusts may go up to 30. But I hope we keep our power, knock on wood. So, but they do have here in this complex a backup generator. So, because we've got a number of residents here that some are on oxygen for whatever reason. Hey. And I just fed my cats their lunch and everything, so they're happy about that. And then after I'm done with this, I'm going to be eating my lunch. What? Loki says hi. Well, we got a storm, if you can see me, I'm right here. The storm that we have here, Loki, no claws. Come on, I need you to move. Come on, I need you to move. They don't need to see your butt. Yesterday, what was it, day before yesterday? They were expecting, wind gusts. There's a National Weather Service advisory on this, and so they're kind of afraid of, trees coming down, things like that, and power lines and everything. It depends on the area where it hits. Here, sometimes Lakewood, we get it pretty strong here in Lakewood. Hey, Dorothy! Hi! I have a windstorm up here. Want one? Okay. Now, of course, you see in my title, Star Super Bowl week, which starts this week. Basically, it's kind of starts today and then goes through the week. Because Super Bowl is, I don't know what the date is supposed to be on. Originally, a Super Bowl is normally in January, but when we had the COVID issues and everything, it kind of threw everything off kilter. So, anyway, and of course you know that old Tom Brady retired. Wow. Yeah, it's really windy up here. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you. They're supposed to have gusts about 30 miles an hour today. Fun. So, that's why I'm staying inside. My neighbor the other day was kind of worried about her plants out there. So, anyway. Of course, with the drama of Congress, Representative Alma Omar, I like her. She's really nice. She's really, she's very knowledgeable. A lot smarter than the others on that foreign committee. That foreign committee, I think the reason why they kicked her off is basically through racism on their part. She says anti-Semitic things. Well, I heard her make a statement, and it didn't sound like anti-Semitic. They were just trying to pick an excuse to kick her off the committee meeting. Because you know she's going to be outspoken. I don't know about her, but I'd be pissed. I go like, why? What is your real true reason for doing that? And I think McCarthy should get his head slapped for what he's doing. He should not allow committees to kick him off unless it's very, very serious offense. And he should reinstate her. Who he should kick off is Gates and Green. Those two should be kicked off. And Gosar, they need to be kicked off the committees. They don't belong there. The radical does not belong there, ever. And people say, well, you're radical. I go, no. Yeah, well, we do. It depends on the country where the new Democrats are coming in, Linda. Depends on who they are and where they are and everything. I can't vote in another state because I live in this state. So I have my, reps here. We need Democratic reps here. Right now, we got one Republican, this Rogers gal, and she's never really done her job properly. And Eastern Washington is starting to the point where they're not really happy with her. So she represents Eastern Washington over there. Spokane, I think Spokane area. Here we have Sarah Patty Murray and red state? No, Washington's not a red state, Linda. It's a blue state. Washington state. We're a blue state. It's just that there's more Republicans on the eastern side of the mountains than it is here. Okay. Yeah, so do I. I live in a blue state. Thank goodness. So I think she should be put back on the committee. And they said, well, one member can force McCarthy off the speakership. You know what? I think the Democratic side needs to do that. Whole bunch of them need to vote of no confidence and need to boot him off and put Mr. Jeffries in the speakership. Because I know Mr. Jeffries will not put up with the radical element at all. He doesn't like them. So, I'm sorry that it's happened to her. It should have never happened. She said she's not going to be silent. And I don't want her to be silent. I want her to put her foot down and say, enough's enough. Then on to other things. Former Vice President Pence, his home is being thoroughly searched by the FBI today to make sure there's any more documents that are missing. More and more people are saying, including me, I'm kind of wondering if those weren't planted. And planted by he who shall not be named. That's my theory on that. Because how many of those documents he took, they said somewhere around 300. And they should have been packed away and given to the archives. That's what should have happened. So, and of course, you know, he who shall not be named does not follow the rules. He doesn't like following rules. He doesn't like following rules and regulations. Well, I'm sorry, but they're there for a reason. If you don't like them or you think they're archaic, then go through Congress, go to your representative senator and say, hey, is there any way we could change this rule, this archaic rule, or throw it out and get a new rule that's more to our, you know, present state. Yeah, that's my thought too there, Linda. Uh, anyway, it's a mess. Anyway, Pence's home is being searched. They also searched President Biden's beach home in Delaware. Uh, they came up nothing. It's been uh, everything's in play. Everything is okay. The place has been buttoned up tight. He says he has not used that beach house since early last summer. Um, so it's buttoned up tight, and of course it's under guard. Um, so it's nothing to worry about there. His regular home in Delaware is somehow, I don't know how those documents got there, but they were not in the house. They were in the garage. And how they got in the garage, I don't know, because he said the garage has got the most advanced security system in there because he's got a couple of expensive cars in there. One of them being his Corvette. And how that got in there, I don't know. And they're investigating that. The special consular to all that is investigating that as to why and how that happened and who did it. And my thinking is, I kind of wonder if he who shall not be named put up somebody to do it. So, and as I don't know if you watched any of the other podcasts, the liberal and the progressive podcasts, like Christoph Avalos and the Midas Touch brothers. They've been keeping close tabs on all this. And I guess Trump, again, he who shall not be named, is going down the toilet mental-wise. He said basically he's gone mad. That's the old archaic term, but hey, it fits. And now I think the handwritten notebooks. Well, I don't know, because since the FBI and everything else investigating this, they're not going to say much until the investigation is complete. So we won't really know yet. But we'll find out. But long, you know, since he's cooperating, he's following all the rules and everything else, I don't think President Biden has anything to worry about. But he kind of wondered how those documents got there, you know. So, it's hard to say. It depends on what news source you go with and how much you trust them. So, oh, by the way, since as of yesterday, since I think it's yesterday, by Pentagon, they spotted on radar a Chinese spy balloon drifting over North Dakota, that part of the United States. And of course, I don't know how many thousand feet up it is in altitude, but it's very high altitude. The planes are not in danger or anything because the planes only go up to a 30,000 foot ceiling or 20. I think anywhere from 20,000 to 35,000 foot ceiling as far as travel goes. So they are keeping track of that balloon and what they're trying to, what China's trying to pick up on their spy thing. I think they're going to be greatly disappointed because ever since 2016, all our infrastructure, our computer systems, everything else has been fortified. It's safe. They can't hack in there. And Russia can't hack in there. Yeah, it's up near the edge of space. Well, you know how often we launch our rockets? I don't know if China's going to launch any more of theirs. Their one rocket they were trying to launch last month. It didn't. They lost their payload. Yeah, it's hard to say. But I kind of noticed that Russia and China are trying to find ways to find more out about us. But since we basically closed everything in, they can't, not much. So, they're usually trying to find a way. But now we know that our election systems are very secure. They can't go in there. We can't, you don't see any bots on Facebook much anymore, okay? You don't see any on any other browsers or any other thing. Everything's pretty tight. I noticed that Trump has not, he who shall not be named, is not back on Facebook. I noticed he's been doing all his ranting through his platform, social network platform. Now he's asking people to, when they join his platform, they have to pay into it. And if I understand, there's not very many. A lot of the Republican Party are dumping Trump. They're getting rid of him. And they're going through other candidates that are more viable and better. I don't want DeSantis. I mean, the guy's an idiot. He's been trying to diddle with education. He doesn't want the kids to learn anything in school. It's what it sounds like to me. And it sounded like to me, when he grew up, I wonder how many times he skipped class. Okay. So, I'm sorry, but I just don't like the guy. Ever. Okay, now, I'm still working on my store. I'm in the process of switching my browsers over and straightening everything out, cleaning everything out. I got rid of Google Chrome on my computer because it was causing it to slow down and eat RAM and everything, so I just dumped it. And all the other browsers use Chromium type platforms, so it doesn't eat as much RAM. And so I'm cleaning that up, and I'm going to be cleaning up my emails, do some spring cleaning on my computer. Also, I'm going to be looking at getting a new phone. And since this has been going bonkers occasionally is getting to the point where I think it's going to quit altogether, and I don't want to quit on me in the middle of something. So, um, that's my store. Oh, and I added a link to my store on my YouTube channel, so you'll know. And I did change out my YouTube channel to Ginger's Chat Show. And so I hope to pick up more uh, subscribers and be sure to share. I mean, go bonkers on sharing. Um, I need more subscribers and more viewers. I like to see more people on my live shows. I know some can't watch it live. I know some that work. So anyway, and let's see what else. Anything I can think of. Is there anything you guys want to chat about? We got about 10 minutes here. Anything you guys want to discuss? It's really whipping outside. Well, I hope my neighbors across the way don't lose their trees. There's some big, tall, evergreen fir trees that are right next door to an apartment building right here. I mean, right smack up against it. So I hope it doesn't snap off and cause a part of a tree goes through the roof. So anyway, and Nancy Pelosi, apparently McCarthy was not being nice to her. You know her, she doesn't put up with anything. She put him in his place, and she said, you know what, I was a speaker before you became speaker. And you have no right to do what you're doing. In other words, she read him the riot act. And she doesn't like some representatives that act like spoiled children. And she won't put up with that. Oh, I'm ready for spring too, Nancy. Everybody is here. And I heard some talk that there was going to be some updating on the pea patch, fixing some, they added some more cold raised garden beds. So they're in about the size of my desk. They're raised garden beds, and you could plant, fruits, vegetables, anything in it, and just have your own little garden in there. Well, when the weather's better and it calmed down, I might check it out, because I might grow some carrots and things like that, and let us know to make my salads. Do it that way, since the cost of everything is going up. Now, those that complain about the cost of eggs, the reason why it's gone up is because a good majority of the chickens were lost. Sorry. Good majority of the chickens were lost to bird flu. So it makes it kind of tough trying to sell your eggs and everything when chicken population's gone down. Now more and more people are trying to start mini farms where they can have like 1 or 2 or 3 chickens and raise their own eggs and do it that way. My ex-husband's neighbor raises eggs, chickens and eggs. And so she gives him a dozen about every 2 weeks, dozen eggs. So they don't have to go and buy at the store. When she gets the eggs, she washes them and everything, and then packages them and say, hey, it's all yours. Yeah. It takes some time for a hen to mature and start laying eggs. Of course, it depends on the breed. I don't know if they're. I don't know if the uh, growth rate on all hens or different breed of hens are the same. Um, Ones that are really put out really good eggs is the Rhode Island Reds. They put out really good sized eggs. Um, then I remember one neighbor back in Roy. Um, she had, what's the name of the breed? Not Rhode Island Reds. There's another Plymouth Rock hens. Uh, she had a couple of those. So anyway, it's almost time for me to sign off. Uh, be sure to persist, insist, and share and discussion and call out people that do things that are not right. Okay. Say nope. And then, especially those in the red states and everything else, need to keep their Republican representatives, whom I know you probably don't like, in their place and say, hey, you work for me, you don't work for corporations. Ever. Yeah, you too, Dorothy. Um, Take care. I love you all. And have a good weekend. And on the 12th will be, let's see, what day is 12th? Let's see, hold on, let me check something. Falls on a Sunday. Yeah, it's in a couple weeks. So actually, yeah, beginning of next week will be the Super Bowl week. So, that's going to be fun. So anyway, I want you guys to take care. Love you all, and I will see you later. Okay, love you. Bye-bye.